What's next? This is the question on a lot of minds, including mine this year. In asking that question, I like to go to the most well-informed people I know, like, and trust, people like Gina Carr and Terry Brock. They, the absolute best investment of time, energy, and money that I made in myself this year was being part of Gina Carr's Video Rockstars group, where some people may be feeling, oh, I'm behind on technology. I don't know what's going on out there. I've got to catch up. We don't feel that way because we know that every week we are learning the latest from Terry and Gina, who have made it their business for decades to be out there on the cutting edge of what's new and what's next in communications technology.
When I do these are really two steps, two big steps with a lot of component parts, but two big steps that I want to share with you guys that may help you. I hope they will. So one of them is to mark in advance on your calendar opportunities to set perspective, goals, and retrospective review. So as simple as the annual plan, like Terry talked about, he does the yearly review, but he's also doing planning for the next year. So when I go ahead and schedule that out in advance and do my best to stick with it, make it a serious appointment that this is my blocked appointment. And if I had to move it, I move it. I don't cancel it. I move it. It's a serious appointment for my success. Yearly planning, quarterly planning, monthly planning, weekly planning, and even daily planning. So I have all those things in my calendar. Do I always make them? No, but my life goes a lot better when I do. The big step number two, so that's big step number one, mark your calendar in advance for all of those different pieces. The big step number two is on a quarterly basis, I focus on one of these areas of my life. So these are the three big legs of the stool that give me a lot of balance. And I focus on only one of these at a time. And they are wealth, health, or personal relationships. So you probably can tell me right now, you don't need to, but if you were to put in the chat, oh man, I've got to get my health under control. I'm having lots of problems. If I don't get my health under control, I'm not going to have a relationship. I'm not going to have a business. And for some of you, your personal relationships may be so out of whack that they are seriously having a negative effect on your health and your wealth, right? And then some of you, your wealth is so out of whack that you are having a lot of trouble with health and personal relationships. So let me just give a quick example how this manifests. Back when I was 50 pounds heavier and not eating right, not exercising, not doing the things I needed to do for my health, if I would have, the exercise time mapped out in my day. And as I'm going along in the day and there comes things get busy, you get out of whack, maybe the exercise was planned for the evening, which a lot of times it's going to work better if you plan it for the morning, but something comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, the client needs this right now. It's 5 o'clock, but I'm supposed to exercise. If you decided for that 90-day period that health was your main priority, you got to do that. You got to put the client back an hour or two or the next day. You just have to do it. This is a way that will really help you when you have to make those critical decisions, which you have to do all the time, right? We have to make those decisions. But if you constantly skip the exercise, you constantly don't eat the things that you need to be eating and make that your priority to prep the food so you'll have them ready, you're gonna be in trouble. So this is my encouragement to you. If you don't feel like you can make a 90-day commitment to one of those things, then make a 30-day commitment to one of those things. And it doesn't mean the others are not important and you don't do them at all. It just means in those critical instances and where your focus is on one area. Make sense? All righty, gang. So any quick questions for me before we head off into our breakout rooms.
Quick question that came up in the chat and that I also have is, do you use a template or a Google Doc or anything to help you with your wealth, health, personal relationships, goals, and planning?
I sure do. And let me see if it's something I feel like I could show you guys. I definitely use Google Docs. I don't think that's going to be so helpful. All right, I won't. When I've shown you guys my calendar before, you've been like, oh gosh, that's terrible. I keep everything on my calendar. I keep the model for the week. I keep these, recurring things that I need to do. I keep soft appointments. I keep hard appointments. Those of you who are involved in co-ventures with me, like I send Lois some things where, okay, so we did our challenge at 4 p.m. Well, our calendar said my calendar at least said 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is blocked because I want to be sure we're doing things before, during, and after. And so I blocked that whole period. So yes, the short answer is I use Google Calendar, and then I use a system called NOZBE, Nozbe. And that is what I try to stay focused on. And some of you have heard me talk recently that it sent me a notice recently. It said, yes, you have 460 to-do items in your 36 projects. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got it. 2021, my focus needs to be simplification. I've got to simplify, and I have to focus on some priorities.
What is NOZBE?
NOZBE. It's a task manager, a project manager for individuals or teams. I haven't talked about that much, but it's a great service. And it allows me to prioritize, schedule, add team members. Maybe I'll do some training on that sometime. It's really pretty cool.
Gina and the experts she brings in through the week and sometimes even on the weekends are teaching us all the best ways to monetize your message through social media channels. Who doesn't need that right now, right?